In this video, we're going to talk about line graphs. So a line graph consists of an x-axis and a y-axis. The x-axis is typically some data value, and the y-axis is the frequency of that data value. What's nice about a line graph is that it's a very natural way of graphing information because we're reminded of ordered pairs, and we've graphed ordered pairs all throughout algebra. So most students are very comfortable with doing a line graph. Let's just go ahead and go through an example on how to do this. So here we're given that 40 mothers were asked about how many times they have to remind their teenager to do their chores. And there's the breakdown. So I'm seeing that the X values are very nice, but the Y values, okay, we go out to 14. So I'm going to make sure I give myself space. And I'm thinking I'm going to probably go by twos. I think that'd be reasonable. So the X's are going to be 0. Now, typically, not always, sometimes certain graphs, people don't like to start 0 at the origin where most people start it. I'm comfortable with it starting at 0, but you may see people actually start 0 a little bit over. Like there would be 0 and then 1 and 2 and so forth. Um, but I'm going to personally not do that. I'm going to go ahead and start it at the origin as normal. Most people, I think, are comfortable with that. And then we'll go from there. All right, so let's see. This will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you're creating a graph, you need to label everything. It needs to be very clear. This is not the time to be sloppy. This is the time to be precise. You want to make sure that it shows the information and shows it very clearly. So we're also going to make sure that we label our axes with the information too when all is said and done. So let me go ahead and do the frequency. So like I said, I'm going to go by 2. So I'll need 7. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and write every number down. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and label. This is the frequency. And down here is the number of times to be reminded. Okay. So now that I got my labels, I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. So for 0, they had a frequency of 2. For 1, it was 5, so it'd be halfway between them. 2 would be 8. 3 would be 14. 4 is 7. And 5 is 4. And then we do connect them with line segments, meaning we don't want it to be a curve. It's supposed to be kind of straight lines in between them, indicating kind of how the pattern looks. And what it allows us to do is it kind of gives us an idea of how the data is distributed. It looks like it's very few who are going to be, I just kind of realized at this point over here, it looks a little bit low. So here, I'm going to fix that really quick. That very few are going to be asked 0 times. And it looks like 3 seems to be the most common, having to ask 3 times. So we kind of get an idea of what the data looks like. Most people kind of fall somewhere between 2 and 4, and then only a few are in kind of the extremes.